You're watching Fox 14, the 4-state's own Fox.
You're watching the KOA Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now it's 7, the oldest mining town in Kansas celebrating its 148th anniversary.
Also, Pittsburgh residents react to the new layout of the US 69 corridor.
And strong to severe thunderstorms rolling through the area this morning. We'll have the latest coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOA Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner. It's just after 7 a.m. on this Friday morning, June the 6th, and it's been a very active Friday morning, at least for some folks out there. We still have severe thunderstorm watches. We still have severe thunderstorm warnings in place. Quick look outside the MoDOT camera, 20th and Rangeland in Joplin. Torrential rainfall also occurring with these storms, which has led to flash flooding concerns. We've had a number of flash flooding reports into Baxter Springs, Miami. We've also got some reports of trees down in the Ottawa County area. The good news is, as you can see right now, no active tornado warnings in our immediate area, which is certainly good news. But we do have a number of severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place, and we're going to start here into southwestern Missouri, where the bulk of them are. So these just came out right before 7. This is for parts of Jasper, Berry, Lawrence, Newton, McDonald counties until 7:45 this morning. This is primarily for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts with these storms as they continue to roll off to the east at about 25 to 30 miles an hour. So that's our primary concern with these storms is, in terms of severe threat, is going to be the winds. And we also have a lot of lightning. Reminder also that we have the severe thunderstorm warning now for parts of Benton County in northwest Arkansas. This runs until 7:30 this morning. Similar situation with the gusty winds being the primary concern, but they're looking at 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts down into northwestern Arkansas. So if you're traveling this morning, try and wait if you can. The other concern we have, it's eased up a bit, but we have a lot of lightning. These storms earlier this morning, more than 1,000 lightning strikes with them as they were rolling through a little further to the west. That's come down now to 432, but still, we're talking lightning dangerous, deadly, no matter what. Now, if you are, again, roughly behind this main line, so in our immediate area, if you are over here or up north, you are okay. It's just this now line of strong to severe thunderstorms that's continuing to push through the region progressively here, rolling off to the east. Once we get behind it, we'll do some clearing. We do have the chances for some additional isolated showers, thunderstorms through the day, but not anticipating any severe weather. Our severe threat picks back up early tomorrow morning. So this is going to be tomorrow morning between roughly 1 a.m. and about 8 a.m. Saturday. We have an isolated tornado risk out there as well as an isolated to scattered hail and wind risk. So, but again, with the scattered risks here, it's a 2 out of 5. So we're talking greater concerns with large hail and damaging wind gusts. Again, between here and this evening, not bad. We're going to have scattered showers, a couple of rumbles of thunder, but not anticipating any strong or severe thunderstorms with that activity. Again, that will return as we go into tomorrow. And our severe threat this morning should start to wind down here about, say, 9 o'clock this morning as this line continues to push out of here. We're at 65 in Joplin, 68 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures have been hanging into the upper 60s and low 70s across the region this morning, so a fairly mild start out there for sure. Warming up later today, upper 60s by 9, mid-70s by noon, and into the upper 70s, low 80s by the afternoon for those highs with a southeast breeze at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. We'll, of course, continue to monitor these storms this morning, and new warnings watches pop up. We'll certainly let you know. And we'll have another complete look at your forecast, talk about our weekend storm chances here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, it was day 2 of open house meetings with KDOT, where Crawford County residents got a glimpse of final plans for the Highway 69 corridor, and the community is reacting. KOM's Lonnie Walton caught up with residents at the Homer Cole Center in Pittsburgh, where they were checking out the new renderings.
I spoke to several residents who say they're very excited about the changes coming to Pittsburgh, but some aren't.
Yeah, so we don't like the no layout. It's inconvenient for us.
Mike and Sharon Harrison live in Pittsburgh. They say the new changes to Highway 69 may be a headache for them.
I'm out of South Olive and go on the bypass. We turn left to go out to the mall corner and go to the lab and the doctor's offices in the mall. We can't turn left and do that, which is the closest way for us.
Aaron Pruskowski is a KDOT engineer. He says changes came from the public's input in previous open house meetings.
To improve safety, improve mobility through the corridor, and those were our two high priority items that we've heard from the public.
Some residents say KDOT did a good job listening.
I think what they've done is listen to the general public very well, and I think they've responded to what they've heard.
It's only going to bring business to me. So
what they're doing in there, they're doing a whole lot, and Southeast Kansas ought to be real pleased with how the state's trying to help us.
Another resident is fine with the changes, but also happy that other things will stay the same.
We're going to be able to use the existing 69 bypass, because I think that keeps people coming to town as well as going through town.
Some other folks who spoke to off camera expressed concerns of location of their businesses or questioned whether some of these changes would actually work. And even though not everyone is on board, some still understand the need for change.
I understand the safety, I do.
And I spoke to some residents who said they have to get used to the new changes. Reporting in the 4 states, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
There will be a virtual meeting later today where KDOT will present the final plan. And the Joplin School District gets the green light to keep going after the Missouri State Highway Patrol's 2025 annual inspections. The district earned a perfect 100% approval rate on its 71 school buses, proving the wheels on the bus go round and round safely all year long. Now, this top score reflects Joplin's dedication to keeping student transportation safe and reliable. Other area districts also performed well, including Carthage with 98.2% approval, Neosho Schools at just over 96%, and Lamar with 90%. Now, across Missouri, troopers inspected more than 11,000 school buses to ensure safety for children statewide. For the full list of inspection results, visit our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. And some good news for the city of Nevada. City officials say the purchase of all new tornado sirens has been approved. The news follows months of collaborative work with siren specialists, and officials say the new sirens will offer an increased range of coverage, and the siren located at the golf course and ball fields will have the capability to announce threats of incoming lightning or severe weather to the public. The replacement project is scheduled to begin in the next couple of months. And to be the first to see breaking news, weather, and sports, you can download the KOAM News app. It's available free of charge in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. The KOAM News app. Well, the oldest mining town in the state of Kansas is celebrating nearly a century and a half since it was founded in 1877. KOAM's Anthony Saviello was in Galena, Kansas, and fills us in on what we can expect to see this weekend.
Well, here on historic Route 66, right here, that's the street that we're talking about. You can see Galena Days is well underway, the 148th celebration of the city of Galena. That's its 148th birthday. So whether you're riding rides or filling up on food, stopping by local vendors, it doesn't matter. This place is flooded with thousands of people, not just today, but throughout the entire weekend. And with that comes a little bit of safety concern. But after speaking with the chief of police of Galena, he says that is going to be well taken care of.
We'll have foot patrols inside the event itself. You know, it's a family event, so we want people to be able to come out, feel safe, and have a good time celebrating Galena Days. We're here. I mean, the police station is located right here. The fire station is right here. So all of our, and plus we'll have Cherokee County Sheriff's Department guys here, reserve deputies here. So we'll have a lot of people in place for something if something were to happen. Like I said, you bring a lot of people into a small area and you just want everything, you know, everyone to feel safe and be safe, and I think there's no reason to expect that it won't be.
So whether you're filling up on cotton candy or stopping by a local vendor to see some of the handmade goods, or maybe you just want to sit and listen to some local music, doesn't really matter. Galena Days has all of it, and rest assured that the chief of police and local law enforcement are doing everything they can to keep you and your family safe. Reporting in Galena, Kansas, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Well, if you missed out on the fun yesterday, events run through tomorrow night. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, President Trump and Elon Musk go head-to-head over the president's big, beautiful bill. We'll have the latest from Washington. And later, we'll hear why it's important to learn the early signs of Alzheimer's. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Topping Nation Watch this morning, congressional Republicans are trying to push through President Trump's so-called Big Beautiful Bill despite very public opposition from Elon Musk. Chad Pergam has the latest from Capitol Hill.
Elon Musk's hostility to the Big Beautiful Bill becoming a big, ugly migraine for congressional Republicans. What's the message you guys need to hear?
I just want to answer any questions Elon has and make sure he fully understands this is not a spending bill.
Do you think he just misperceives this?
I do.
Some Senate Republicans who are no's on the bill applauding Musk's opposition.
I seem to be on the same wavelength in that we're very, very skeptical.
Musk claims that but for him, Democrats would run Washington now.
Do you agree with his assessment that that if it wasn't for him, that Republicans wouldn't have control of Congress right now and the election?
He played a positive role. I mean, you help spend that much money, he attracted a lot of people.
Democrats, not so sure.
It's just crocodile tears that are being shed by Elon Musk.
Democrats say it was only a matter of time before a Trump-Musk breakup.
This divorce was predictable, if not inevitable.
Democrats embraced the resistance by Musk to the bill, but at least one Democrat called out his colleagues for their inconsistency with Musk.
The Dems, we've been dumping all over Musk and vandalizing Teslas or whatever, and now we might be more back into him.
However, top Democrats still keeping Musk at arm's length.
As the old saying goes, a broken clock is right twice a day.
Senate Republicans contend they're not worried about Musk torching the bill on X. Ohio Republican Bernie Moreno says President Trump has a bigger platform, the bully pulpit. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
And that's a look at some of today's top national stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:16 now on this Friday morning. We're starting with a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. Skies cloudy. Rain is still falling out there. As we take a look at the MoDOT camera, 20th and Range Line in Joplin. Still dark, still some heavy rain falling out there. We're continuing to deal with these thunderstorms as they continue to push through the area this morning. So here's a look at what we've got in terms of watches mornings. There's some interesting gaps here, but believe it or not, there's a few more of these counties. Washington and Nevada County should also be out of this severe thunderstorm watch. It's being dropped off as these storms push to the east because the severe threat back behind them, we don't really have anything to worry about until we get into early tomorrow morning, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Still have our severe thunderstorm warnings for parts of Jasper, Berry, Lawrence, Newton, McDonald counties until 7:45 this morning. These storms are again moving east at about 30, and it is for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts out there is the primary concern. Of course, that severe thunderstorm watch that does still continue. So for Ottawa, Delaware, of course, Newton and Berry counties, McDonald County, they run until 8 and 9 a.m. respectively. We still have our severe thunderstorm warning also into Benton County, and that will continue this morning until 7:30. So just another about 12 or 13 minutes left on that. So we've got these thunderstorms every so often, especially on the southern edges, and you can see there's three tornado warnings down here all grouped together. This line has tried to spin up. The closest we had a tornado warning earlier this morning, southern Delaware County. That has since moved on. But gusty winds still a concern with these storms. Also at frequent lightning. Now the lightning's come down a bit at the peak this morning. These storms, 1,000+ lightning strikes with those storms out there. And you can see that whole line just surging off to the south and east. As it exits, we'll still have the possibility of some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms into this afternoon, but our severe weather threat will return tomorrow as we roll into the very early morning hours of our Saturday. So that's what we're going to talk about. That's what our risk area is there. So this is going to be after midnight tonight. We're talking roughly about 1 a.m. to 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. We've got this isolated tornado risk, isolated to scattered hail risk, and an isolated to scattered wind risk for damaging winds, large hail out there is the primary concerns. Through today, this stuff should be out of here by about 8, 9 o'clock if everything keeps on trucking the way it is. And then we'll just have isolated to widely scattered showers, thunderstorms through the afternoon. No severe weather expected, but we could get some rumbles of thunder. And here we go, 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning. Here comes our next round of initially scattered showers and storms, and we get this line rolling from south to north, pushing through the area. That's going to bring our threat for strong to severe thunderstorms as we go into early tomorrow morning. So another round of activity we've got to watch. Now by 8, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, it wraps up. We've got some scattered showers, maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Could get some strong low-grade severe thunderstorms out there into the afternoon, mainly along and east of the 69 corridor. And then we'll see another possible round of strong to severe thunderstorms as we roll into Sunday afternoon as well. So for tomorrow afternoon, the threat, we have an isolated tornado risk, some of those strong, potentially severe storms, isolated hail risk across most of the area, then we've got that isolated to scattered wind risk. And as we roll into Sunday afternoon, we've got another isolated to scattered risk for strong to severe thunderstorms, and it's going to be after about 2 o'clock Sunday afternoon. Cloudy skies out there, obviously. The rain's still falling down. We've had some flash flooding reports, and we've also had some minor damage reports in the Ottawa County area. So if you're traveling this morning, again, watch out. You see water over the roadway. I mean, here, obviously, we're okay. I don't mean if it just looks wet, but if you see water flowing over a roadway, turn around, don't drown. Don't mess with it. We've got a lot of flash flooding that's been taking place out there this morning. Upper 60s by 8 o'clock this morning, low 70s by 11, and again, isolated to widely scattered showers and thunderstorms out there as we end the afternoon and evening hours. Nothing strong or severe expected with that. Back into the upper 70s, low 80s, because we'll get a little sunshine here and there, and that'll allow us to warm up. Same isolated, widely scattered storms through the evening, and as we showed you on Future Track, as we head into very early Saturday morning, another round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms out there. As we go through Saturday, getting warm though, 80. 85 by Sunday, and then it'll be again 2-3 o'clock the afternoon. Could get another line of strong to severe thunderstorms. So a very active pattern here through the weekend. Then we get into Monday, and we finally get an opportunity to take a break, all right? Upper 70s, low 80s. We're drying out. A few storms possible next Thursday and Sunday. Temperatures, though, still expected to heat up. Upper 80s, maybe some of us near 90. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Well, like cancer, Alzheimer's is a disease that touches many people's lives. It's why doctors like Gina Fujikami of the University of Hawaii advise folks to learn the signs. Krista Mayo reports.
June marks Alzheimer's and Brain Awareness Month, a time medical experts say is important to educating the public about the most common type of dementia.
It's a buildup of amyloid and tau protein plaques that develop in the brain and thus leading to brain damage and trouble with memory.
According to the Alzheimer's Association, more than 7 million Americans are living with the disease. That number is expected to rise to roughly 13 million by 2050.
We think that a lot of these amyloid and tau proteins do develop in mid-age, like in the 40s and 50s, but not in everyone. And not everyone who has these proteins in their brain develop Alzheimer's.
Doctors recommend learning how to detect early signs of the disease, but say it's critical to know the difference between Alzheimer's and general forgetfulness.
When it comes to the point where people are forgetting when they're driving, they're forgetting how to get back to their home, or more consistently forgetting to pay the bills on time or leaving the stove on more consistently, that's when they should contact their primary care physician to get a full evaluation.
Early detection can be key to getting medication quicker and improving care. Doctors also advise maintaining an active mind and body to help decrease the chances of developing Alzheimer's disease.
A good exercise regimen, walking, controlling your blood sugars, controlling your cholesterol, your blood pressure, exercise your brain, whether that be through, again, socializing, talking story with people, or doing puzzles, games.
Krista Mayo, Fox News.
Some great tips and reminders there. Well, coming up, Neosho students get hands-on experience with healthcare careers at MASH Camp.
And we're continuing to track strong to severe thunderstorms pushing through the area. We'll have the latest when we come back.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:28. I'm Elise Snowy. Cancer survivors and their loved ones gathered at Mercy Cancer Center in Joplin for an afternoon of celebration, community, and reflection. Mercy hosted its annual Cancer Survivors Picnic, a chance to honor those who fought or are still fighting cancer alongside the medical teams who have stood by them throughout their journey. This year, guests also had a special opportunity to take part in a community project led by an Eagle Scout, painting rocks with encouraging messages to fill a new rock garden at the entrance of the Cancer Center.
I thought that it could use something, and cancer awareness is always a good thing, so I thought that I could kind of sprucing it up to be kind of nicer while also giving people awareness of the different types of cancers.
Survivors shared their stories of diagnosis, treatment, and recovery while enjoying a picnic lunch with family, friends, and caregivers. Middle school students in Neosho, Missouri got a hands-on look at healthcare careers thanks to a special program at Freeman Health System's East Campus. It's called MASH Camp. Now, from stethoscopes to scrubs, it's a real-world glimpse into the medical field.
People get sent home from the hospital and they have to be able to do those activities of daily living. So that's what the therapists are working with, helping them do that. So this kind of mimics some of those things you would teach someone.
The students also took part in a mock physical therapy session. Let's head over now to Chris for another look at the forecast.
Yeah, again, strong to severe thunderstorms pushing through the area. Quick look downtown Pittsburgh. On the backside of all this, out toward Kansas, Oklahoma, we're starting to clear out. Still got the clouds, but the rain coming to an end. MoDOT camera 20th and range line in Joplin. Still some rain falling, but Joplin, you're on the backside of this. You're outside of that severe threat. Let's take a look at what we have. We do have one change. The severe thunderstorm warnings for eastern Jasper, Newton, McDonald, and into western Berry and Lawrence counties. They have that orange highlight to them. And that is because the tornado possible tag has been added as we're starting to see some little kinks as these storms push off to the north and northeast. So what we're going to do is we're going to just take a quick look, closer look at this line of storms. So you see these little Boeing shapes and these little kinks that are going on out there. That's what we've got to watch for, is those potentials for those possible spin up tornadoes, and so that's something we want to keep an eye on. I want to emphasize right now, no tornado warnings in our immediate area, none for this particular storm, but nonetheless, something we want to monitor if you are within this severe thunderstorm warning, or if you are in points immediately to the east of it. Cassville, for example, heading over toward Crane, Billings, Mount Vernon. If you're still ahead of the main portion of this line, it's something we want to watch very closely as it continues to push on through the area this morning. So we also have the severe thunderstorm watch that still continues in parts of northeast Oklahoma, so Ottawa and Delaware counties till 8 a.m. and then Benton County in Arkansas, Newton, McDonald, and Berry counties in southwest Missouri until 10 a.m. So we'll continue to monitor these storms as they push on through, but we really want to keep an eye. I mean, this line is beginning to exit our immediate area, but it is showing again that tornado possible situation, so we're going to watch it very closely. We've also had a number of flash flood warning, a lot of flash flooding reports, so please, please, please turn around, don't mess with any of this flash flooding or any of the rain we've been getting. The already saturated ground's getting a lot of rain out there as it is. Now, overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, we have, and I'll just back up here, isolated tornado risk across a good portion of the region, and then isolated to scattered hail and wind risks with these storms as we go into early tomorrow morning. So what we're looking at is between roughly 1 a.m. and about 8 a.m. Saturday morning, and we'll go over all of that in detail with you as well. All right, through today, though, once we get past this, about 8, 9 o'clock, and this line exits our area, scattered showers, couple of thunderstorms, nothing strong, nothing severe expected through the afternoon and evening. Again, we won't really see that severe threat change until we start heading overnight tonight. All right, 66 Joplin, 68 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures mild out there into the upper 60s and some low 70s. We'll be into the upper 60s still through 9, mid 70s by noon, upper 70s, low 80s for our highs today. Southeast winds at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. As I mentioned, we have our severe threat continuing early tomorrow morning, again tomorrow afternoon, and again Sunday afternoon. We're going to go over all those details with you here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, a whole lot to look out for, Chris. Thanks. And don't forget, you can be the first to know about the day's weather with the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. Get severe weather updates sent straight to your phone, free of charge. It's available in the Apple App Store and the Google Play Store. Just search for the KOAM Sky Watch weather app. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Shannon Becker joins us with his big 3 stories of the week. Welcome back. This morning we have Shannon Becker in the studio with his big 3 news stories of the week. Shannon, good morning.
Rain, rain, rain.
Here it is. It's always here.
It's
it
all
feels
right.
like.
It's all right. I'm just like a wet rat.
I know.
So let's take a look at our big three stories this week. Speaking of rain,
Yes.
it was just the other day. This is in Racine, Missouri. A car had driven into high water. It was before 6 a.m. So in her defense, it was pretty dark. Sure. Sometimes you don't necessarily know. But here's the thing. You put yourself at risk. You put rescuers at risk. And then also you could get a ticket.
Right.
I mean, her car is totaled, plus she got a ticket. It was a little bit later in the day, a water rescue near Carthage on Jack Pine Road. Even though the water didn't look too deep, they still would write you a ticket if you went around the barricades.
Right, absolutely.
And so he was the deputy we talked to, he was very busy there. You could face a $560 fine going past the barriers in Ottawa County, Oklahoma. Now tonight, though, I understand they are still having the monster trucks, so don't worry about that. That's rain or shine and not flooded out. Our number 2 story, KOAM News Now, a serious crash occurred this last Saturday evening at North Range Line of Newman Road. That is where a lot of crashes happen.
Busy intersection.
Yes. What happened was this: you have a green light, but you have to yield on a green, which is kind of new to some people.
If you're heading south on Range Line,
yes. And so turned in front of a semi-tractor trailer that was probably really just going the speed limit, but when you have such a huge amount of weight, that made a lot of damage. 3 people to the hospital, everyone obviously going to survive, which is amazing.
Right.
Our number 1 story, Joplin News First, a shooting this last Saturday night. Started at Mia Bella in Miami, then across the street, a foot pursuit to Arby's. More shots fired between an officer and an individual, then taken into custody just about a block away. There he is. That's his driver's license picture. A man, that's his picture, though, after he's been in the ICU for a couple of days. Wow. He is actually out of police custody now.
Oh, he is.
His family is taking care of him, but he has a long recovery before he'll be able to go to court and face these charges.
Right.
A lot of charges. In fact, it's unknown really the motive, what really started everything. But he seemed to be a little off kilter during the day. People had said that he had said some stuff to them there along Main Street, and then flashed a gun at someone at the coffee shop just next door at the 7 Brew, and then broke a window. Shots were fired into the Mia Bellas. Everything back to normal, though, of course, in Miami.
Good.
And our bonus story of the week, the rain will be gone, hopefully. I think it will be. And so the Galena Days will continue, the 148th birthday of the town of Galena, but it masquerades as something. It's really a fundraiser for the volunteer fire department.
Right.
Yes, so that's the whole point of it. So all the money they raise, you can buy tickets from any firefighter, and it will go into these different drawings they do. You can win tons of prizes. I was there last night, and they just have prize after prize after prize. They're giving away like $25, or they're giving away a teapot, electric teapot, or different stuff like that. So buy a ticket, be there both Friday and Saturday night. They do those giveaways continue.
Absolutely.
And I don't think it'll be raining it out tonight, so that'll be good.
All right, wonderful. Well, Shannon, as always, thanks so much for being with us this morning. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News. It's 7:41 now on this very busy Friday morning. Still dealing with some strong severe thunderstorms across the area. In fact, it looks like we just got a new severe thunderstorm warning. Of course, that was live look downtown Pittsburgh and MoDOT camera 20th and range line, still a bit breezy. Still some showers rolling through the Joplin area. But we do now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is, you see that one flash in there that just popped up. So here's the problem that we have with both these warnings at this time is they're both that orange color, and that orange color indicates tornado possible. Now I want to emphasize that we are not talking about a tornado that is happening, but these storms have had a history of at least trying to spin, so it is something that we've got to monitor very quickly. So recap for Eastern, Jasper, Newton, McDonald, Western, Berry, and Lawrence counties. This warning will run, this is why the new ones come out, for another about 2 or 3 minutes. But this new one is for parts of Berry and southern Lawrence County, so just immediately south of Mount Vernon, paralleling I-44 there. This is moving northeast at 40, and these are for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And again, it does have that tornado possible tag, as we have seen at least a little bit of some possible rotation. But again, nothing significant, nothing that is causing great concern. But nonetheless, we still want to monitor those storms as they continue to push through. You can see lightning also beginning to wind down a bit, especially on the northern extent of these storms. But nonetheless, still a fair amount of lightning out there around the Cassville area. It's 65 lightning strikes alone just down there. So it is something we certainly want to continue to watch. But these storms will continue rolling to the east, and they'll progressively move on out of here. And in the next, I'd say 45 minutes or so, we should be pretty well done with the severe threat in our area, because you can see back behind it clearing in terms of the rain taking place across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma. All right, overnight tonight, though, things come back and they get a little nasty again. We've got an isolated tornado risk, but we have a greater concern overall with some hail, some possibly large hail, and some damaging wind gusts. And this is going to be between about 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. on our Saturday morning. We're going to show you that with the future track. For today, once we get past these storms this morning, some isolated, widely scattered showers, thunderstorms are going to be possible. Not anticipating anything severe with this activity through the afternoon and evening. But then again, here we go. Early tomorrow morning, here it comes from south to north. It's a little unusual, but we've had these happen that way. They follow the a frontal boundary. But we'll have these storms by 5 a.m. Southern Kansas and back into southwestern Missouri, northern Oklahoma. These storms will have the possibility to be strong to severe with the hazards we just showed you. They should wrap up, at least with the severe threat, by 8. And we'll have some isolated, widely scattered shower storms, another small area of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms, pushing through initially mainly east of 69. But as we put this into motion, there it goes, you can see that it does start to spread out a little further west. Nothing crazy, but some strong low-grade severe thunderstorms will be possible with that activity. And then we go into Sunday, and initially, Sunday doesn't look too bad, but as we head in the afternoon, after 3, we get another line of strong to potentially severe thunderstorms rolling into Sunday afternoon. And then those will flare up pretty quickly and be gone by late evening on Sunday. So here's our risk areas for tomorrow afternoon. We do have an isolated tornado risk out there that will be in place, and then we'll have the isolated hail and an isolated scattered damaging wind risk. So again, like today, main concerns have been with damaging winds, and that's going to be the case again for us tomorrow. And then for Sunday, here it comes again for that line. You saw it flare up there in the afternoon Sunday. We have the potential for additional strong to severe thunderstorms. So a very active part of the pattern as we roll through the weekend. But the good news is, as we head into next week, we're going to at least get a couple of days to calm down. All right, dark, spooky looking outside, but otherwise, things getting better in Joplin. Rain's out there, but it's moving on through. Severe threats moved on through. We'll have those scattered storms. Not everyone will see rain, as we showed you on Future Track. We'll be upper 60s by 8, low 70s by 11. And as we move into the afternoon, we'll get some of those partly to mostly cloudy skies in between some of the storms. So it allows us to warm up a bit more. Upper 70s for most of us, some lower 80s, absolutely possible. And to the evening we go. Again, a few isolated, widely scattered storms out there. And then overnight tonight, our next round of strong, potentially severe thunderstorms. Then we'll have that next round Saturday afternoon. Then we'll have that next round Sunday afternoon. Back into the 80s, in fact, mid-80s on Sunday. Then we get a break. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures heating up, though. Still looking at getting close to 90 at least a couple of days next week. And thunderstorm chances again next Thursday and Sunday. That's Check Your Forecast. We're back with more right after this.
Whether your house and land is brand new or decades old, do you ever wonder about its history? Beth Warden shows us a home that had history literally falling from the ceiling.
A Sioux Falls man is renovating this home, and inside he's found some interesting pieces of history.
This cozy home near 26 in Duluth has quite a story to tell.
Yes, this house was originally built in 1880.
Back then, this home was out of town, and the law was far away.
Used to guard this house with shotgun up on top of the old roof.
Lance Wrench is the pastor at Falls Church. He doesn't take a salary for that and earns a living by remodeling and selling homes. His goal, to breathe new life into the home with all the upgrades.
We tore down the plaster from the ceiling because we saw, hey, there's higher ceilings here, and then a postcard fell out of the ceiling.
It was an invitation to a masquerade ball before South Dakota was even a state.
Dakota Territories, which is now Spencer, South Dakota, about 45 minutes from here, on the evening of February 13th, 1888. The initials, their name, J.W. Leonard, Sioux Falls, and it arrived to their home.
The Leonard family is documented in Sioux Falls history.
So in 1922, Mr. and Mrs. J.W. Leonard reported that they had just returned from a visit to Council Bluffs.
The layers of flooring are like rings on a tree.
Original, looks like cedar, 1880s. This is 1970s, there's some OSB.
People walk by and share their memories.
I was born in that house. My parents rented that.
I found more history on those who have made their home here. A businesswoman and a mom from the 1950s.
Mrs. June Gibson, 1709 South Duluth Avenue, announced the engagement of her daughter Julie.
Next month, a new family will make this place their home after closing on the sale.
It's pretty normal to get an opportunity to own a home, but not many people get the chance to buy a piece of history.
Very, very cool. Let's head over to Chris now for a full look at the forecast.
Yeah, we've got ourselves those scattered showers and thunderstorms continuing. We do have some severe thunderstorm warnings still continuing for southern Lawrence and parts of Berry County out there. And the orange color does indicate tornado possible, as there's been a little bit of weak rotation showing up. The good news is, though, that threat does seem to be diminishing, but this warning will continue through 8:30 this morning. And then we have this severe thunderstorm warning, which is, again, very far east from Benton County. That's going to run until 8:15. The bulk of the severe threat, as you can see, is moving on out of here. So if you're back behind all of this, you are good to go. Now, some isolated showers, even a couple of thunderstorms, are still going to be possible as we head into the afternoon hours out there. But we're not anticipating any severe threat with this activity as it continues to redevelop back behind everything, which we'll show you here on the future track in just a moment. However, tomorrow morning, between, again, about, let's say 1, 2 a.m. and about 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, we do have another severe threat isolated. Tornado risk isolated to scattered hail risk and an isolated to scattered damaging wind risk out there. Here's what it looks like into the future track. Now, again, today, some isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms will continue into the afternoon and evening. Nothing severe is expected out of any of that. But overnight, we start off initially with some scattered showers and storms out there, and then we get a line of strong to severe thunderstorms. I'll start rolling through. So by 5 a.m., it's into southern Kansas, northern Oklahoma, stretching along I-44 back through Missouri. And then that will continue through the morning. By about 8, that severe threat wraps up. Then we go into Saturday afternoon. We get another line of storms. Some of those could be strong, potentially severe. That's not overly impressive, and it's not a very widespread threat, but it is there. And that's going to be, again, after about noon, 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Then we go into our Sunday. Most of Sunday ultimately looks pretty good, but we go into the afternoon. By about 3 o'clock, we have another frontal passage coming through. We got this wave. We're going to start to see initially isolated showers and storms, but they are expected to intensify pretty quickly. By 5, we've got strong to severe thunderstorms once again, hugging the I-44 corridor back across southwest Missouri into northeastern Oklahoma. Those exit by about, say 9, 10 o'clock Sunday, and then finally, we'll get a little bit of a break. So here's our risks again for tomorrow afternoon. We could have, again, we've got that isolated tornado threat. We have an isolated hail risk across the region. We also have an isolated to scattered damaging wind risk. And then we go into Sunday. It's too far out to break down the threats individually, but you see we have a level 1 out of 5 and a level 2 out of 5 severe risk for Sunday afternoon storms as well. We're, of course, continuing to monitor these storms this morning as they exit the area. We'll have another look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Residents are learning more and reacting to roundabouts and other changes coming to Highway 69 in Crawford County. Yesterday was the second day of KDOT's public meetings explaining the final concepts for improving an 18-mile stretch of the highway from near Arma to the Crawford-Cherokee County line. KDOT will hold a virtual meeting today. And Nevada city officials say the purchase of all new tornado sirens has been approved. The news follows months of collaborative work with siren specialists. Officials say the new sirens will offer an increased range of coverage. The replacement project is scheduled to begin in the next couple of months. And the Joplin School District gets the green light to keep going after the Missouri State Highway Patrol's 2025 annual inspections. The district earned a perfect 100% approval rate on its 71 school buses. The top score reflects Joplin's dedication to keeping student transportation safe and reliable. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, and a reminder, we still have the severe thunderstorm warnings, parts of southern Lawrence and into Berry counties and far eastern Benton County, as this line of storms continues to push off to the east. And you can see it is almost out of our immediate area with just some light showers, few thunderstorms possible back behind it. And that's really about all we're going to have to deal with, at least for the rest of today. As we head into our Saturday, though, we are going to look at additional strong to severe thunderstorms tomorrow morning between 1 a.m. and 8 a.m. And again in the afternoon, say after 2, we could have additional strong severe thunderstorms Sunday afternoon after 2 as well, with the passage of another wave. So a lot to keep an eye on.
Certainly. A 2-year-old stallion recently rescued got to experience a pasture for the first time. The Polk County Sheriff's Office posted on Facebook the stallion named Thunder galloping through the temporary home at the PCSO stockade.
Now, Thunder was a part of a group of livestock found neglected at the home in Lake Wales, Florida. The group included 8 horses, 11 goats, and 2 sheep. Great to see they have a new place. We'll be back today at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.